I'm going to show you guys how to make a GIF in Photoshop just by doodling on top of a picture. And we're going to be doing this little fish guy hopping out of the water. So we're going to start off with a new blank Photoshop document. I just did 1500 by 1500 pixels. We don't want it to be too big, otherwise it's going to take up a lot of space. And go ahead and hit create. Now what we're going to do for this project is we're going to draw a doodle over an image. Okay, so first you're going to want to import your image. You'll want it to be fairly simple. You don't want a crazy background or anything so that your GIF is visible. I'm going to resize this so it covers my entire artboard. And then when you're done, you can either hit done or enter to place it. I got this from Pexels. It was taken by Sebastian Beck. The link is in the description if you'd like to download the same image. This is going to be my background, so I could actually delete my background layer. So I'll just hit the little trash button. So basically what we want to do is add a new layer for each frame in my animation. Keep my background untouched. We don't want to be drawing on the background. But I'll just hit the little plus button to add a new layer and start drawing. I want to make sure that layer is selected, and I'm going to go over here to the brush tool. I can resize the brush, of course, up here, or using the brackets on your keyboard. That will also resize it. And then you can change the hardness as well. So now that we have our brush selected, we can pick a color over here. So either click here or choose your color over here. Just depends on what you're trying to draw. I'm going to do something fairly simple, but you can So once you get your brush taken care of, we need to pick our color. I'm just going to stick with black. But if you'd like to do something a little more colorful, you can. You can also add color after. And I'm going to just draw a little fish coming out of the water. So I'll start with the top. Maybe I need to resize the brush a little bit more, make it a little smaller. We got the top of the fish. Okay, so that's my first frame. Now I'm going to add another layer. I want to keep the layer 1 scene for now. I'm going to draw my second layer just above it. And this is supposed to be the fish coming out of the water. It's kind of hard to see, but we're drawing on 2 separate layers. Okay, and sometimes what people will do is change the opacity temporarily of the layer underneath so it makes it a little easier to look at. And we'll add another one. Oh, you know what? I want to put eyes on this guy. Take this one off. I'm going to put just a little eye. Okay. And then our third layer, you always want to make sure you have the right layer selected. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to unsee this one so I can see what's going on better. And you'll just be going through, drawing each layer. Okay, so I should have all of my frames in separate layers. I kind of did a messy job on this, but that's okay. It actually ends up turning out better than you think it will when you put it all together. You don't have to see all the frames, but I'm just gonna do this so you can see what it looks like. So there's all my frames of the fish jumping, and then I still have my background in a separate layer. Now what I'm going to do is go up to Window. I want to open up the Timeline panel. So Window, and then all the way down to Timeline. It should pop up at the bottom of the screen. We want to create a frame animation. Sometimes it opens up like this where you see create a video animation. We want to click on that little arrow button, click create frame animation, and then click on the button to create frame animation. It's a little bit of a strange interface, but we're gonna roll with it. So now that my timeline panel is open, it just opens up whatever you have showing as your first frame. Whatever you have showing on your screen, that will be your first frame. That's not what we want. We're going to make each of these layers a separate frame. So look over here on the top right of your timeline panel. You'll see 4 little lines. I'm going to click on that and then hit make frames from layers. That's going to take every single layer that I have and make it into a frame, including the background. Now it's almost there, but we want the background to be showing on all of these layers and not be in a separate frame here. You can delete this first one, or you can keep it if you want a blank frame, but we want to select 2 through 17. So I'm going to select 2, press and hold shift, and then select 17. Shift will basically select everything between the 2 things you click on. And then I'm going to go down to my layers panel, scroll to the bottom, and I'm just going to see the background in all of those frames I have selected. And that should pop in there. Okay, and then you can hit the play button, see how your animation looks. It's looking pretty good. Now let's export it. So the temptation is to just go File, Export As, and then choose a GIF here. But if you do that, it's just gonna export a single frame, whatever frame you have showing. There's a special way to export as a GIF with all the frames. So we have to go File, Export, and then Save for Web Legacy. This might take a second to open up. So here we go. And it's gonna show you what the colors are gonna look like. When you export as a GIF, because it has multiple frames, it can't use every single color. We have to kind of limit the amount of colors it can use, otherwise it's gonna take up way too much space. So if we do GIF 128 dithered, that means that it's only gonna have 128 colors, or if we do 32, it's only gonna have 32 colors. So let's see what that does. So you can see it's a little bit more pixelated. It just depends on what you're going for. So if your colors aren't showing up quite right, you can try adding more, just like that. Okay, and then you're gonna hit the save button and choose where you want to put it. I'm just gonna put it on my desktop, fish, and then hit save. And there we have it, my completed fish.